Open Conversations with Pastor Sandy. Hello, dear viewers. Again, it is our pleasure to welcome you to the Embassy of God's programs, and I want to welcome two amazing, beautiful ladies to our program that have been here for the last two episodes to help shed light on the problem of prostitution, because they went through this problem, and it's only thanks to the Lord that they were able to become free of it. Now they are helping other people who have gone through this hell. And now these ladies who once believed that there was no a way out for them except for death are now finding ways out for other people who are stuck in cycles of paid prostitution, homosexuality. They are helping people, they are helping little children, they are helping people of all ages. And today we want to talk about the prostitution as a problem, as a social ill, as a whole. Hello, Yulia. Hello, Ludia. Prostitution. It's a bit of a taboo word in our city, in our country. Few people know about the extent of this problem. Is this a problem? Is it a profession? Is it a social phenomena? Or is it just one of the realities of our everyday life? Is it just a part of society? Can I start? If we look at the history of the word history, where the word came from, it is it's exposing your body to the public and exposing yourself to lust shamefully. A shameful exposure of the body. Shameful is part of the definition, yes. Prostitute from the Latin root, it means a shameful exposition of your body to the public, to lust. I went and studied the definitions of prostitution, and I went to the parliamentary library because I was interested. And prostitution has almost always existed in human history. Sometimes it was more major, sometimes it was more minor. But I think in history, the first person to rehabilitate prostitutes, harlots, whores was Jesus, because he forgave adulterous women and said, "Go and sin no more." And I think that this is very important, because when I was reading that passage in the Bible, everything seemed to change in my life. It was the final push I needed to go and sin no more. And from that moment on, I changed. Prostitution as a phenomenon is an evil. It is a curse. Why is it an evil? Why is it a curse? Because let me say, it is contradicting the nature of God, and the nature of man, and the nature of man, and the nature of woman, and the nature of woman as well. Because the Bible says, let your marriage bed be pure. God says that a woman should have a family. A woman should have one husband. So God is describing the essence of a person. Why is it against the nature of a person? When you were working as a person like a prostitute, was it repulsive to you? It was repulsive to me. I hated it. I always was contracting different diseases. I had to spend loads of money on my own personal health. My current weight and everything is a result of my past. Are you serious? Because hormonally I was damaged, and now every day God is restoring me. I'm getting a new life, but it's a very, very long, tedious, hard process. But many things will no longer be returned, no longer will never be the same again. The parts of my organs that have been lost will never be recovered, and doctors can't restore them either. But God is helping me, God is restoring me. Luda, The word prostitution, what does it mean? Is it just a word? Is it a social phenomenon? Is it a business? Is it an evil, like your interlocutor has said? Well, you have to look at it in different contexts. In a spiritual context, it is first and foremost a curse, because a woman who copulates with a man at the moment, and a prostitute copulates with a large number of men, like the Bible says, they cleave together and become one flesh. So they bring their own baggage of curses to each other. A partner gives all of his genetic information and legacy over to his partner, and that is the same way that the prostitute and her partner share and exchange a multitude of curses to each other. So prostitution is bad not only for the women who are sold as prostitutes, but for the men who engage in it as well. Yes, for people, men come to the prostitutes to blow off some steam, to de-stress, to feel better, to feel bolder, but they don't understand that they are heading downhill, and that they are making their life worse, how they're making their wallets thinner, how they're making their wives and children's states worse, and because to the thousandth exponent, the curses in their lives are multiplied, because once they copulated, he has taken her curses upon him, and she has taken his curses upon him. He has taken her diseases, and she has taken his, because she has the curses that she has inherited generationally. She has the curses that she has received from the other clients and partners that she's been with before. And so the man is filled with all these curses. Yes, he is. And you know, once I was reading a medical journal from the US to confirm your hypothesis, and it was proving why it's better for a person to have one sexual partner over the course of their life, or that if they're changing their sexual partner, it's good to wait a few years between having an active sexual relationship with one person and then moving on to the next. So they prove it with medicine and statistics that once a man sleeps with a woman, he contracts all of her diseases and biological substances that are inside of her, and not only her biological substances and sicknesses, but those which she has received from her last 10 partners. As long as these partners have been with her in the course of a year or last 2 years, everything that they have brought to the bed are left inside of her, and she can pass it on. And then if a man also goes back to his wife, he brings it home to her. So that is a confirmation of your word. It's a confirmation. And that is why all of that you could see right in front of you, because when you first met a client, they were kind, they were respectful, everything seemed fine, but they hired a girl constantly, and so you could see that over the course of 2-3 months they got into car accidents. No way. One person had both legs amputated after a terrible car accident. These type of problems come because of engaging in prostitution. Random diseases pop up, sudden deaths in the family, mothers, fathers, sisters are killed, die. It's a curse. Yes, a score of curses just assail him at a mind-numbing speed. and everything he touches, his business, his beloved wife, it's all passed on into her, and the destruction is multiplied. Their whole life is destroyed. Why? Because even if you take all of our ancestors, when people were trying to be moral, our Slavic people before the Second World War, there were virgins before marriage, and before the end of World War II, Hitler asked one of his helpers, did I win? Because I have the strength, right? So I am the winner of the war, right? And his helper said, no, you will lose. And why? Because a high level of morality existed in the Soviet Union. There was a culture of keeping your virginity. So you proved to us just now that it is a curse and destruction that comes into the life of the women who are sold in prostitution and the men who hire prostitutes in their business, in their financial life, and who knows what will happen to their wife and to their children. Yes, the wife and children suffer the most because it is a curse. And I also want to look at animals, at the level of animals. When there is breeding, think about why purebreds are kept separately and why they are protected. And because if there's any contact with another breed, that can already spoil the pure breed that they're trying to create. And the same thing with brothels in the past. They used to keep the girls inside. They wouldn't display them outside because just through a gaze, a contact can happen, information can be passed. And so when all of this is freely offered to people in the billboards, on TV, in restaurants, in parlors, that is already the morality of a nation falling. And I think it's the big plan of the enemy to weaken our nation. I also want to add that the people who financially profit from prostitution are also not accepted from these curses and punishment. The pimps, the bottom girls, and top of the elite of the prostitution world. So they go through the same things that the person who hires prostitutes himself, if they profit off of prostitution. Yes, maybe they don't get the diseases and everything that man or married man, for example, that engages with a prostitute does. However, if you are involved in the business of prostitution, if you're an accomplice and you're working and your job is based on blood, right? Yes, because you're bringing people today for sin to happen, for a girl's life to be ruined. If you're earning money based on that, you're also touching prostitution. The curse will find you as well. So even if they brought a client and a prostitute together and they made money off of that, or people who are supporting websites or politicians that are funding some of these circles, because I've had some clients who are politicians, they're very influential. Their lives are also filled with curses and destruction. Maybe it won't be a health issue, but something in their life, in their relationships, in their business, with their wife, with their husband, that is what will suffer. It will leave a negative mark on it. So this is more serious than we think. Yes, it is. Well, I can understand that drug addiction brings an evil to society. I can understand alcoholism brings an evil to society. But few people talk about the evils that prostitutions bring. Prostitution is a huge evil, and there might be a greater evil than drug addiction and arms, because they say that there's three black pillars of money in the world. That is the sex trade, that is the arms trade, that is the drug trade. I want to say that sex trade earns the most money. Why? Because a woman can be sold many times. It's a product that can be reused, even many times in one day. Once you sold the drugs, it's used, and that's the end. But a woman can be sold over and over and over. That is why it is the most profitable, the most lucrative pillar. When you were a prostitute, did you feel that you were being sold? Did you feel that you are being traded, that you are being used as a product and an object? Yes, of course. I felt that people are making money off of me. And how does a person feel that he is used? How does that psychologically affect you? What does a woman feel? Well, there are these moments when you feel like you want to make money, as if this is something you wanted. And then there's also the point where you are forced to be somewhere because you need to survive. There is a difference between a livelihood, working for money, and working to have money, because if you don't have money, you die. There is the moment when you don't want to do something, but you are forced against your will. That's what happened to you, right? Yes, those are two different things. But then I went through this period that I was so broken, I was so shattered, somehow psychologically and spiritually. I'd gone through so much brokenness and destruction. All together, it seemed to me, Satan is the father of lies, and lies are covering you everything. And you start to think, hey, what's so bad about this? So many people are earning off of this. So many people are working here in our country, abroad. This is a very, very common practice. So you just convince yourself. But if you actually dig deep down into your heart, I didn't do that. I refused to look into my heart. I refused to face my true feelings. My motto was, as long as I'm okay, I'm going to keep working. Luda, what will you say? I want to add that inside you feel that you are dying as a person. The human part of you, your personality, it's dying. And you just follow your animal instincts. You are a performer. You are a robot. You sit there. You do everything. Inside, all of your alarm bells, all of your signals, as a person, as a personality, as a woman, they die. Not of your own will, but you said you're like a robot. Yes, you just do everything that you're told like a robot, automatically. And while that's going on, all of your feelings, all of your internal states, all of the humane things inside of you, they die. It's just complete and total degradation every day and every moment. It's like Yulia said, it really hurts because there are these moments in these when your conscience seems to fade away, and you talk to your inner self and you ask, who am I? And where am I? What am I really? And you're so scared to answer the question because nothing, no excuse, no word, no large enough wardrobe, no huge bulging wallet can cover up and get rid of the pain and of everything that is going inside of you, because it is an abuse of God's creation. God created our bodies, our temples, and that is where my true life is. But I was sinning against myself, against my flesh as well, because God created my flesh. So, not long ago, I just thought that it had been so long once I was a prostitute, since I was able to do what I wanted to do. It had been so incredibly long since I had my will, I had my way, I knew what I wanted to do. Anyway, thank you for watching this program. We'll continue next time.
Thank you so much for watching our videos. Now, we need to spread this word, and we need to do it together. For that to happen, we need your help. Just 5 little steps that you could help us to spread the word. Number one thing we need you to do is to like the videos. Please go like this video right now. Number two, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Number three, we need you to press and click on that notification bell. You see the bell? Go press on it. And number four, we need you to go comment. Write your comment, good or bad, just write what you feel. Number five, share on every platform. Share on Instagram, share on Facebook. Just share and spread the word. Thank you so much.